Welcome to Shelf Life, the monthly series where I look at games I covered about 6 months ago and let you know whether they stayed in my collection. And today I'm looking at games covered in March of this year, and there were only 6 of them to crowdfunding, so let's get right into it and see which of them had shelf life. So first, in the crowdfunding corner, we're looking at Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, the Crisis expansion. They had a Kickstarter with like 3 expansions at once, but this is the one I focused on. It has a different way to play solo co-op than the original Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, where you're cooperatively dealing with these crisis cards every turn that come out, kind of force you to do different things. And I loved this one. I thought I enjoyed solo and co-op in Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition. Terry's. It's a lot of words to say. But I think the new Crisis mod is so much better. Once it comes out, I'm never going to play the original solo co-op again, I don't think. Now, that being said, I would not have backed this myself, but I would have strenuously encouraged Peter to back it because he's the one who owns Ares Expedition at the moment. So I would have wanted him to have it so I could play it. But I think they are sending us a review copy. Peter will end up with that, but I'll probably do another video before I give it over to him. But yeah, this one is excellent. If you even sort of like Terraforming Mars Ares Expedition, then Crisis, I think, is a no-brainer for, in my opinion, much better solo and cooperative play. And the other game from crowdfunding for this month was Tidal Blades 2. This, I did a TTS playthrough, so sorry that it's not real footage right here. But yeah, this was, I think I ranked this as my #1 most exciting crowdfunding game when I covered it, like in my mid-year video. So I'm incredibly excited about this one. The story seems cool. The world building seems cool. My favorite thing is the card play with the cards in like rows and column that'll activate different abilities and stuff and how you level up with them. So yes, this one I could not be more hyped for. That being said, would I have backed it? Nope, because my buddy Jerry, who played it with us on TTS and also loved it, is already backing it. He's in like the group that I usually play the big campaign games with. So I didn't need to back it myself, but I will certainly be excited to play it and do some more videos once his copy is all done and it delivers. But now getting to our actual contest competitors, our first matchup is Ascension Tactics versus Familiar Tales. Ascension Tactics, to start, is a competitive or solo or co-op deck builder mixed with a tactical skirmish game. And yeah, it riffs off of the Ascension deck building system. And this one I found okay. The AI was quick to resolve, but I didn't think the tactics were as good as I would like a lot of the time, and I didn't think the deck building kind of ramped up the way I would like. It's sort of, the game would end a little bit too quickly in general for me to really feel like I got some combos going on. So I think for someone who likes tactics and deck building games, it could be a lot of fun, but for me it was sort of a miss on both counts, like neither one went to the heights I hoped it would. Meanwhile, Familiar Tales is also a solo and co-op game with some deck building added to a different genre, in this case a sort of like narrative dungeon crawler adventure game. And I enjoyed a lot of this one. The one really big negative is that the way they chose to do lower than 4 player counts and solo play I don't think really works at all, so you kind of have to multi-hand so that you're actually controlling 4 full characters, which for solo is especially challenging. But this one is still a keeper for me because I'm really into the story and the theme of it. I want to specifically play it with my kids, my family. It's a pretty straightforward game, and it has kind of like a Disney movie feel to it. And if I'm playing it with like 3 players, then, you know, me multi-handing 2 characters instead of 4 will be much more doable. I can't see myself finishing this one solo. Now, I think I'll probably get rid of it the second that I'm done because it doesn't seem to have a ton of replay value, but I do want to get through the entire thing. This is one of the narrative campaign games that I'm actually going to hang on to and try to finish one day. So that is a win for Familiar Tales, beating out Ascension Tactics. And our second matchup, this is going to be a pretty quick video today, is Burncycle from Chip Theory Games versus The Initiative. So looking at Burncycle first, this is a solo and cooperative, sort of like, I guess, sort of dungeon crawler, but it's really like a stealth-based game where you're moving around these office buildings, trying to complete missions. And I really enjoyed this one. Now, is it like top tier Chip Theory, like Too Many Bones or Cloudspire, or now I would put Hoplomachus Victorum in that ranking? I don't know. And I'm not sure if I'll keep it forever, but I am still really enjoying it. Now, I did not back the recent expansion they did, so I'm not sure if I'm going to go all in on this one like I did for the other games I mentioned from Chip Theory, but I am still really enjoying this one. It has some of the best stealth in a board game I've ever played. I really like the dice resolution system in action. I think the variety of bots and missions and corporations is really fun. The components are great. So yeah, this one, at least for now, is sticking around. Can't say that'll be forever, but I expect to play it several more times. And finally, last game for the month is The Initiative. This is, again, solo and cooperative game of like sort of code deduction where you're moving around this board, finding these keys that let you unlock different letters in this code, and then you're trying to like figure out a key phrase or figure out like the answer to some kind of riddle. And I really, really enjoyed this one. Like, it's not too hard. I don't know if we ever actually lost a mission, but me and my main game group were just like super into this one. We played it every single week, like even over kind of meatier games until we finished the entire thing. The little comic book tie-in they have is a lot of fun for like the little story they're telling. So this is not a keeper, though. It's a call, because once you finish it, they do have like some extra content you can play through, but like the story and kind of the unlocks were what kept us going. But the nice thing is you don't really destroy anything except for like one minor component, so it was easy to pass this on to somebody else so they could play through it. So yeah, this one I recommend strongly. I think it's a lot of fun, but it's a cull for me just because I got through the entire thing, and that was about as much as I needed to play. So March was not a phenomenal month for released games. Out of 4, only 2 of them are sticking around, and neither of them might be here for the long haul. We'll see. And let's look at our contest results. So for the first matchup, Ascension Tactics versus Familiar Tales, 45% of you said I would call them both. 29% of you got it right and said I would keep just Familiar Tales. 20% thought I would keep Ascension Tactics, and only 6% thought I would keep them both. As for Group 2, Burncycle versus the Initiative. Burncycle was the easy choice for a whole lot of you. I guess you know that I like CTG games with 61%. 18% thought I would keep them both. 16% thought I would call them both. And only a tiny 5% thought I would keep only the Initiative. And we had a bunch of people get all 4 right. Abby, Chris, Dave, Declan, Evan, Henry, or Henri, Jeff, Jose, Kevin, Mayuk, James, Paul, Scott, Matthew, Ryan, Urel, and Jack. And our last 3, Matthew, Ryan, and Urel, are Patreon supporters, so they get double entries. Jack, I think, was our winner last month, so he chose not to be entered this time. So we're going to roll a d20 and just have to re-roll on a natural 20 to see who won. And all right, here we go. 15. I think that's in the Patreon bracket. And indeed it is. This month's winner is Matthew Mendonca. So Matthew, I'll be in touch about what game you want from my collection. And all the rest of you, great guessing. Thanks everybody for watching Shelf Life. Don't forget, if you want to go ahead and enter next month's contest right now for the end of November, the link is in the video description. Thanks everybody, good gaming, and I'll see you at the next stop.